Meghan Markle caught doing something that's left not just royal watchers, but even Netflix executives absolutely furious. Yes, you heard that right. The streaming giant is in complete meltdown after what Meghan has done, and it could spell disaster for her multi-million-dollar Hollywood dreams. Buckle up, because today we're breaking down every shocking detail of this scandal, what happened, why it matters, and how it could completely derail Meghan and Harry's carefully crafted image. So let's rewind for a moment. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry signed that eye-watering Netflix deal back in 2020, reported a $100 million partnership that was supposed to transform them into Hollywood power players. The couple promised Netflix exclusive documentaries, scripted shows, uplifting content, and of course, intimate access to their story outside the royal family. At the time, Netflix executives were giddy. They saw this as the crown jewel of celebrity deals. Meghan and Harry were controversial, high-profile, and had a global audience ready to watch their every move. It was supposed to be a win-win, but 3 years later, the cracks are showing. Netflix hasn't exactly gotten what it paid for. The content pipeline has been thin, reviews have been mixed, and now this latest scandal with Meghan threatens to blow the entire deal wide open. So what exactly did Meghan do? Well, reports have been pouring in that Meghan Markle has been accused of manipulating her Netflix role behind the scenes, making demands that left producers frustrated and executives alarmed. Multiple insiders claim Meghan has been interfering in production decisions, rejecting scripts, and even attempting to reshape projects to center herself rather than the actual subject matter. One Netflix staffer described it as, quote, a nightmare, saying Meghan's obsession with controlling every narrative has made collaboration almost impossible. Even worse, there are whispers that Meghan crossed the line by leaking confidential details about Netflix's internal plans, trying to spin them in the press as her own victories. That's right. Executives believe she's been using their brand as a stepping stone for her personal PR, while delivering very little of what was promised in return. If true, this is more than just bad behavior. It's a breach of trust that Netflix does not take lightly. And here's where the real drama kicks in. Netflix is already under massive pressure. Subscriptions are slowing, competition with Disney+, Amazon, and HBO Max is brutal, and Wall Street has been breathing down their neck to cut expensive deals that don't perform. So when Meghan's behavior reportedly started causing delays, overruns, and outright chaos, Netflix executives hit their breaking point. According to leaks, meetings turned tense. One executive allegedly asked flat out, "Why are we paying this much money for content that isn't even getting made?" And it's not just about money. Netflix staked its reputation on Meghan and Harry, believing their royal glamour would attract millions of viewers. Instead, what they got was a docuseries that caused backlash, a cancelled animated show that never saw daylight, and now a scandal that makes Meghan look unprofessional. Inside Netflix, patience is running thin, and there are growing calls to cut ties altogether. Now, here's the kicker. This isn't the first time Meghan Markle has been accused of this kind of behavior. Royal insiders have long said Meghan has a pattern of clashing with institutions, whether it's Buckingham Palace, fashion houses, or now, major corporations like Netflix. The accusations are eerily similar. Meghan wants control, Meghan wants to dictate the narrative, Meghan wants the spotlight. And when she doesn't get it, allegedly, staff members quit, projects collapse, and reputations suffer. Some critics are calling this latest Netflix fiasco proof that Meghan hasn't changed. She's just moved her battlefield from the palace to Hollywood. And if Netflix is already struggling with her, what does that say about her long-term future in the industry? Hollywood is ruthless, and one bad reputation can close doors very quickly. So let's talk about the breakdown happening at Netflix itself. Insiders describe executives split into two camps. On one side, you've got the defenders who argue that Meghan and Harry are still a global brand worth investing in. They say the couple's projects need more time, that eventually the right content will pay off, and that abandoning the deal too soon would look worse than sticking it out. On the other side, executives who are furious. They see Meghan as a liability, the deal as a money pit, and they're pushing for Netflix to quietly scale back or even terminate the contract. One insider put it bluntly, "We signed up for royalty. What we got was reality TV drama." This division has created a storm inside Netflix's leadership. The company doesn't want to look weak, but they also can't afford to waste money. And Meghan's latest actions have poured gasoline on the fire. And let's not forget the audience. Viewers are not blind to all this drama. Every time Meghan and Harry release a new project, social media erupts with criticism. Some accuse them of hypocrisy, preaching privacy while cashing in on their personal lives. Others say their stories are repetitive, rehashing the same royal grievances over and over. Now, with Meghan caught meddling in Netflix productions, critics are doubling down. Hashtags calling her manipulative, controlling, and untrustworthy have started trending again. Public opinion, especially in the UK, is brutal. And even in the US, where Meghan hoped to reinvent herself, the backlash is growing louder. For Netflix, this is a nightmare scenario. Instead of positive buzz, they're getting dragged into Meghan's controversies. And for a company obsessed with its brand, that's the last thing they want. So what happens next? That's the $1 million, or should I say $100 million question. Netflix is stuck in a very awkward position. If they cut ties, it looks like an admission of failure, and Meghan and Harry will spin it as them being victims of corporate betrayal. But if they stay in business with Meghan, they risk more scandals, more delays, and more wasted money. Some insiders suggest Netflix may try a middle ground approach, quietly reduce the scope of the deal, shift resources away from Meghan's passion projects, and focus only on content they believe will perform. Others think the writing is already on the wall. Meghan and Harry's Hollywood honeymoon is officially over, and Netflix will eventually walk away. Either way, the days of Meghan Markle being treated as Hollywood royalty are fading fast, the shine is wearing off, and the scandals are starting to outweigh the star power. And that's just part one of this explosive story. In the next part, we're going to dig even deeper, looking at Meghan's response, the behind-the-scenes Hollywood whispers, and how this Netflix disaster could actually affect the couple's entire future in America. Because believe me, this isn't just about one deal, it's about whether Meghan Markle can survive in an industry that demands results, not excuses. So make sure you stick around for next, because the tea only gets hotter from here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next upload. Trust me, you're going to want to see what comes next. So how has Meghan responded to all of this? Officially, her team has stayed quiet. No public statements, no on-the-record interviews. But unofficially, sources close to Meghan are insisting she's being unfairly targeted. One insider told a major outlet that Meghan is simply a perfectionist who refuses to put her name on subpar content. They argue she's not being difficult, she's being professional. And Meghan's friends are quick to point out that male producers are rarely criticized for being controlling. So why should Meghan be vilified for having standards? But here's the problem. This explanation doesn't erase the fact that Netflix is frustrated, projects are stalled, and money is being burned. Whether Meghan's intentions are good or not, the results are messy, and Hollywood cares about results. Now, let's talk about Prince Harry. Where does he fit into all this? Interestingly, Harry has been described as the quieter half of the deal. While Meghan has reportedly been hands-on and demanding, Harry is said to be more passive, often deferring to her decisions. Some Netflix insiders even suggest Harry isn't as invested in Hollywood as Meghan is. He's shown more interest in causes like mental health and veteran support, while Meghan wants to cement herself as a power player in the entertainment world. This dynamic has led to speculation that Meghan is dragging Harry deeper into a career he doesn't fully want, and that in turn could be adding to the tension inside their partnership with Netflix. Because let's be real, if Harry isn't 100% committed and Meghan is causing chaos, the deal doesn't have a strong foundation. Here's where things get even more concerning for Meghan. Hollywood is a small world and reputations travel fast. Already, there are whispers that Meghan is difficult to work with. Producers talk, executives compare notes. One entertainment insider told a trade magazine that Meghan has become high maintenance without the track record to back it up. That's a brutal assessment, but in Hollywood it matters. Remember, Meghan isn't coming to the table as an Oscar-winning actress or a proven showrunner. She's a former TV star with a royal title. That title opened doors, but once you're inside, you have to deliver. And if you don't, the doors can slam shut very quickly. Netflix may be the first company to experience this tension, but if the whispers spread, Meghan could find herself blacklisted from other opportunities as well. Of course, Meghan is not going down without a fight. She has always been savvy when it comes to media and PR. Already, there are signs her team is trying to spin the narrative. Articles praising Meghan's work ethic, glowing profiles about her ambition, and carefully staged appearances at charity events are popping up just as this Netflix drama heats up. It's classic damage control. Meghan wants to remind the public and Hollywood executives that she's not a liability, she's an asset. But the big question is, will it work? Because PR can polish an image, but it can't replace actual results. If the projects continue to flop or stall, no amount of staged photos or friendly articles will convince studios to keep investing. So what is Netflix going to do about all this? Well, reports suggest they're in serious damage control mode. Executives are evaluating upcoming projects, cutting budgets, and setting stricter deadlines. They're also reportedly warning Meghan that if the chaos continues, the deal could be scaled back or even terminated. For Netflix, this is about survival. They cannot afford to keep pouring money into a partnership that doesn't deliver. And make no mistake, Hollywood is watching closely. If Netflix pulls the plug, it will send a loud message: Meghan Markle is too risky to work with. So what does the future hold for Meghan Markle? That depends on how she plays her next move. If she doubles down, continues making demands, and keeps pushing her own agenda, she could find herself isolated in Hollywood, with very few allies left. But if she steps back, learns to collaborate, and actually delivers strong, successful content, there's still a chance to turn this around. Meghan has charisma, global recognition, and a platform most people can only dream of. The question is whether she can use it wisely, or whether her need for control will keep sabotaging her. For now, though, the writing is on the wall. The Netflix scandal has exposed cracks in her strategy, and Hollywood is paying attention. One more major misstep could be the end of Meghan Markle's Hollywood ambitions. And there you have it. The shocking fallout of Meghan Markle's Netflix disaster. From being accused of meddling behind the scenes to sparking a full-blown executive crisis, Meghan is now facing one of the biggest tests of her post-royal life. Will she survive the storm and reinvent herself yet again? Or will this be the scandal that finally breaks her Hollywood dream? What do you think? Is Meghan being unfairly targeted, or is this proof that Netflix made a massive mistake? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading every single one. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future updates. Trust me, there's always more tea to spill. Until next time, stay tuned, stay sharp, and I'll catch you in the next video.